and welcome back to my shed where it's once again really appalling weather. The UK weather system seems to base what it's going to do and when it's going to rain around the same time as when I am available to film. So despite the fact that it has been actually pretty glorious in the UK since my last video, it is pouring with rain and there has been some thunder today. So I'm not doing any gardening with you. I am going to give you a plot tour. I'm already completely soaking wet. I've just come back from walking the dogs and I thought I would get this done before I have to get ready to go out to lunch. So yes, I thought that made sense. Thank you everybody who commented and liked my last video. I really appreciate that. I always love reading your comments and like chatting with you about gardening. I had quite a few new subscribers in the last couple of weeks as well, so if you are coming back to my channel, if you are a recent subscriber or even a long-standing subscriber, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it and really glad that you can come back. I don't know if you can see how steamed up my glasses are, but I'm only hoping that I'm looking at the camera. I can't actually see anything. So we should probably get the show on the road. So we're starting where I've just left you in the shed. So walking out of the shed door into the mini greenhouse. Fortunately, everything in here looks like it's doing really well. The lettuces that I potted on last time, this that I really think actually might be snapdragons and not just some random weeds, kales that are growing up nicely, as well as calendula, cabbages, globe artichokes. The cabbages have been munched a little bit. Ooh, and that looks like caterpillar eggs, so I am going to have to come in here and do a little bit of a clean up, that's the word I was looking for. And then down to more hardy annuals. The scabiosas I didn't put them on last time in the end because they were just a little bit too small, but I am going to do them this time. And that malop that I potted up last time, apart from two, which have been slugged by the looks of them, they're doing really nicely. And down the bottom I've got two red cabbages and some corn salad which looks like it needs watering, which is just an oxymoron in all this rain. I think it's starting to rain harder. Okay. Plum tree, which has gone into full autumn mode. When it dries out a little bit, I will dig a hole here and bury it in the ground. All of my potted fruit trees have suffered this year. They are all ready to have permanent new homes. And that will go somewhere here. In the first bed, firstly a little update on some of my perennial herbs. This is the rosemary, one of the times, the purple sage, which did look like at one stage it was getting eaten. I might have to stop filming, it's getting so rainy. They're all doing really well. It actually looks like, if you look at my 9-star broccoli, which got first destroyed by caterpillars and then eaten by my dog Peanut, it is actually growing back, look. And I've got a whole load of winter salads in here that are doing really well. That red sorrel particularly, although the wild rocket, a lot of it does flower, so I'm not sure about that. And the spinach is looking really good. I notoriously, to myself, struggle to grow spinach, so the fact that there's some spinach there doing something is quite exciting. Oh, the rain is getting really, really heavy now. I can't believe I'm doing this. Blackcurrant didn't fruit this year, but maybe next year. I did get some pretty good strawberries. They're still sort of trying to make fruits, but it's really the end of the season now, so I'm not expecting much from them. And likewise, the rhubarb is going back. In this middle bed, I do have carrots, but also the cats still continuously dig this bed up and use it as their toilet, so I don't have as many carrots. They dig over the carrots, so I don't have as many as I'd like to. And I have started to get some volunteer broad beans from where I didn't actually harvest any of the broad beans that I overwintered last year. They just died back in the bed. Oh, I'm so in love with this snapdragon. Look how beautiful it is, even in all this rain. In my last video I announced that I was definitely going to harvest early all of the tomatoes, and as you can see I have not, but they are starting. This patch isn't representative, but they are starting to ripen on their own. I have harvested some. In fact, I made a lasagna using homegrown tomatoes yesterday instead of tinned. What I have been trying to do, and the weather today is not the day for this, is make sure that they're properly staked and stripped of any excess leaves, particularly these cordon varieties, so that they're just not trying, they're just putting all of their focus and energy into ripening the fruit. Any that are not ripe by the end of September, I will just harvest green. And then we come to my cherry tree, which is, it did grow a couple of cherries this year, but it's only its first year in the garden, so I wasn't expecting anything. And then the new raised bed, lovingly referenced as the pig pen. Compost bins, must empty the compost bin before I go out of the kitchen. Also, just a note, quick update on the garlic chives that I split and replanted here. They're doing so well. In fact, that not only are they flowering, but they've got a whole load of new chives, and I think I'm going to harvest these and take them inside. The beautiful honeysuckle, which I cut right back, is regrowing. The pond is getting nicely filled up. Still got a lot of blanket weed in there that I'm not quite sure what to do with, so I just periodically pull it out. I planted out the chards, and where I separated the Welsh onions, they haven't died. I'm taking that as a good sign. I'm not necessarily seeing any new growth on them yet, but they have not explicitly died. So hopefully that means they're doing something. And then some more perennial herbs. Marjoram, golden sage and tarragon. I've given all of these, apart from the sage, a really good haircut. And I didn't point out over there, that's the lemon balm, which has struggled, and that surprised me. And there's a little thyme right there, which is doing okay. It wasn't the strongest plant when I planted it, and the fact that it's still alive is as much as I need from it right now. And then more tomatoes. And there's just such an abundance of them. These are bush varieties, so they're intended to look a little bit demented in contrast to those ones over there. And these ones are ripening. Got one down here, which is nearly ready to pick. A lot of them have also been munched on. So yeah, it's a big job when picking to get rid of anything that's over munched. And then still got one or two sweet peas. Lovely. Behind me, this is a new bed which I want to fill and plant my garlic in. But I've filled it up with just compost, and again you can see through the middle loads of volunteer broad beans are coming up. I've got one more bed to build, which will go here, and filling that will be next year's project. The other end of the first bed, again I've got the common thyme, which I've given a big haircut, 2 rows of beetroot, a winter savoury, and a parsley, which I'm not convinced is going to grow back, so that might go soon. And then some space. There's quite a few spaces in this bed for some of the stuff that's in the mini greenhouse, like lettuces. I think the kales will go over there somewhere, I'm not sure. In the middle there, got some leeks. They're growing really nicely, and some spring onions, one of which looks like it might be ready to actually harvest, so that's good. And then the other side of the perennial herbs is the catmint, which once again has not survived, and this is because the cats have annihilated it. It was sunny the other day and I came out here and one of my cats was just lying on the ground playing with the really sad root ball that he'd pulled out of the ground. So Yes, I think if I try catmint again, I'm going to have to put it in a pot, keep it somewhere away from the cats, and then plant it out when it's much bigger. This bed continues just to want to be weedy, so I can either keep weeding it, or I might just cover the whole lot in cardboard. That worked really well on this bed, and just leave it for a season. And then my little grapevine. I did think that my grapevine would naturally wrap itself around this pillar. It doesn't look like it wants to, so I'm going to have to start tying it, so that's a job for another day. We're back around to the shed door where the sweet peas that you saw me sow last time are living, and the oregano, which has grown really well. Actually much better than in this pot than any of the herbs that are out in the garden. The fruit trees are at the end of their life. I still haven't worked out what to do with the raspberries, but I think I will cut it back, because although that's a sycamore, there's quite a lot of new growth coming through on these tree branches, especially this one. And the blueberries are just stunning. This colouring is why I say no home should be without blueberries, because they're just gorgeous. And these are pink berries, and I've still got some. I'm going to eat that one. So good. Oh, so good. So good. I'm going to have another one. I need to get these in. Oh. It is so wet. I'm not even certain that you'll be able to... That's better. Back in the shed. That it's so wet. I don't even know how well this is filmed, how much you've heard, whether or not you can even see. I don't know if the lens is just too wet for this. So yeah, a great big hope for the best, I think. I guess the test will be, if you see this on Monday, then it was worth the effort. Otherwise there'll be no video on Monday. And YouTube won't like that. So I am going to say farewell and go and get a towel and a hot cup of tea and warm up. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Hopefully the situation in your garden is not quite as wet as mine, and you're able to get on with some jobs. I've got a long list of jobs that I would like to get done this week, but it's all going to be dependent on the weather. So please do leave me a comment below and let me know what's going on in your gardens this week, and do all the things that YouTube like, such as like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.